Hey everyone, Desiree here. So this is another thrift adventure. Today we are headed into Savers to see what we can find. Now, the first thing I noticed as soon as I walked in was this cute little frog. Now, this obviously looked really vintage to me, and it definitely looked like a collectible. You can see he was $6.49. I did make a donation that day, so I had a 20% off coupon, which was really exciting, and I did put that frog in my cart. Next, I see this snow globe. Now, this is a Disney Cars snow globe. You could see they wanted $14.99 for this, and I was really considering this, but it was really, really heavy, and I couldn't figure out if it was supposed to do something. Like, I was looking at the bottom to see, does it light up? Is it supposed to, play music? Is it supposed to do something? Because I just felt like it was supposed to do something. So that was just too heavy, and I decided to leave it behind. Now, this interesting piece of glass really caught my attention. I love art glass. Anything that looks different, anything that really stands out is unique. And because it was only $1.99, I definitely put that in the cart as well. Now, sometimes you will find things right away as soon as you walk into the thrift, and other times you just won't. But the fun of this for me is just looking and seeing everything that I don't know that I can just either use for myself at home or something that I can flip and sell definitely for a profit. Now, I wasn't too sure what that round globe thing was. I have seen them before, but if you know what that is or what they're used for, please leave me a comment down below because I do see them quite frequently and they're very beautiful, but I just don't know what they're for. Now, these cute little frog votives also caught my attention. I love the green glass, and these definitely look like something collectible. I don't know if they were vintage, but I have seen these before, but I've never seen them in green. I'm thinking someone probably donated their frog collection, and that's why there was so much frog stuff on the shelf this day. And as you can see, I tried to pick them up at the same time, but they were too heavy. You also see Smurfette in the cart. My son threw that in there because he thought that she was vintage and he wanted me to run some comps on her and see if she was worth anything. Now, I got really excited when I saw this glass jar because I did think it was a glassy baby, but upon closer inspection, I did not see the marking and I did not think it was just by, it didn't feel like as high quality, but I mean, who knows? It could have been. But again, I didn't see any markings, so I left it on the shelf. Now, this is an interesting bowl. This is called diceware. And I remember seeing these bowls. They were really popular when I was growing up, probably in the early 80s, late 70s, somewhere in there. And I could tell by the felt on the bottom that this was definitely something that was vintage. And I know the bowl is really beat up and it's got a lot of wear to it, but I have seen them sell in really bad condition. So I put that in the cart to look it up. Now that was a really cute box. It looked like a tourist type of piece, so I didn't get it. Now this little wood carving was really, really charming in my opinion. I don't know, there was just something about it that I liked. You can see they wanted $14.99 for it. I don't know, there was just something fun and unique, especially with the faces. You can tell it was hand carved and the detail was amazing. So I did end up putting that in the cart, but spoiler alert, I did not keep it. Now here's one of my favorite sections to check out in the thrift store. As you all know, I really love planners, notebooks, papers, pens, pencils, all those things. And I have found some really interesting planners here at the thrift store. Now this one is I think it's a Franklin Covey or maybe a Daytimer. But even though the outside of the planner is really beat up, I always check the inside because sometimes the inserts are still in really good condition, sometimes brand new, and you can still use them. So I always look to see if they have any blank notebook paper or anything in there that I may be interested in. And this is another Franklin Covey, I think. Again, you can see it has a lot of wear, and so I decide to leave that one behind. But I have found Filofax and Happy Planners in the thrift store. Now I was kind of surprised because the shelves just seemed really disorganized this day, but it was a Saturday that we went, so maybe it didn't start off that way, and maybe all the people coming in and moving things around, who knows, but there's still always stuff to find, as you can see. So here I am looking at the hole punchers now. If you are looking for a hole puncher for your Franklin planner, please check your thrift store because they do have the 6-hole punch. Is it a 7-hole punch? And also the 5-hole punch. And I have bought many there over the years for anywhere from $2 to $3. Now, I had never seen this box of the Prismacolors. A lot of the pencils were missing inside that, so I ended up not getting it. But had all the pencils been there, I would have grabbed that for myself. I really enjoy looking at the vases, and I thought this was really cute. It says, "You live once, so think twice." I'm not sure if that was a vase or if that was something else. Now this was interesting. I wasn't sure if that was a fish creamer or a gravy boat or something, but I thought it was kind of odd. Oh, now this was a very, very interesting piece. It's a really tall bottle that had some Millefiori design on it, and then that fluted bud vase there. Both of them were beautiful, but they were just way too big for me to consider shipping. Now this looked like a teapot, but obviously someone had used it as a planter because there was still a lot of dirt and soil in the bottom. But I really liked it for some reason. I think I liked the color and I just really liked the design. But it looked like it was missing its top or something. So anyway, I ended up not grabbing it. Now this was also another fun piece. This is a jackpot glass mug or something like that. It reminded me of Las Vegas because I live in Las Vegas, but it also reminded me of the old slot machines, and I just thought it was so cute, and so I did put that in the cart, but I didn't keep it. So here we are at the baggies, and I saw this Scentsy block, which I did not even know Scentsy made, bricks. Now I have done really well selling the Scentsy wax melts before. Every time I list them, they sell pretty quickly. So when I saw this, I decided to put it in my cart because again, I had never seen the big brick. And I figured with the fall season, that scent would be perfect. It's really overwhelming with all of these baggies here because sometimes, like I've said in previous videos, the stuff just doesn't really go together, or sometimes you want one thing in the bag and then there's like 5 other things that you just don't want. And we are in the mug section. I always check the mug section because sometimes you can find some highly collectible mugs. Of course, we all know Starbucks mugs are highly collectible, but you can also find mugs from like sports teams that are collectible. I have sold mugs from wrestlers, like famous wrestlers. And I just learned that the pharmaceutical mugs, you know, the ones that have like the medicine name or the drug name on it, I just found out that there's a market for those. So now I will keep an eye out for those types of mugs as well. But I really do like mugs. I find that they're easy to sell, and if you have the right box, they're pretty easy to ship as well. Now this tissue box holder really caught my eye because of the color. It is a Tiffany box blue. I'm not sure if it was vintage or not. I'm kind of thinking it was, but there was just something about it that really had a kind of an Art Deco look. And now I wish I would have picked that up because some of those old tissue box, you know, covers are very, very collectible. That is a rock glass piece that was very heavy, but still very pretty. And I'm just now noticing that pink platter. I should have looked at that because that looks like something really, really different and unique. Now I did see a lot of these crystal dishes or plates. I don't know what they were. They had so many of them, and they were asking $7.99 each, which I thought was a bit much for what they were. Now this mug I really liked. I liked the color because it kind of had a luster finish to it. You can see the artist name on the bottom. It says Diana. But what I did not like was those crisscross brown markings. It kind of looked like swords or something to me, and I don't know. It just seemed kind of weird. So I didn't get it, obviously. There was lots of crystal Oh, now I got really excited when I saw these placemats. That's what I'm trying to move everything out of the way for. Now these are definitely vintage and they are really, really pretty. I remember seeing these I think in my grandma and my aunt's home when I was growing up, and they were in really good condition. I didn't grab them though because I thought they were too big to ship. But this is one that I regret. I wish I would have picked them up because I just really, really like those. And now that I'm looking back at the video, I really wish I would have grabbed them, or at least a couple of them. I'm looking at these coasters, and one of them was damaged, so I decided to leave it behind. Now I have seen this colander in several thrift stores, not this same one, but you know that I've seen that colander, and I guess it's just not something that a lot of people want because I seem to see it at almost every thrift store I go to. So here we are in the glassware, and this is another one of my favorite sections because I do love glasses. Again, I'm really picky though about what I decide to buy because I always think about breakables as it relates to shipping. Now these amber goblets on the bottom really caught my eye. They definitely looked vintage, however I didn't see any markings on them. And that one had some type of glitter swirls in it. It was really, really pretty. And there was only one like that one. The other ones, they all went together, but there was only that one that looked like that. Now those teal blue glasses also caught my eye. At first I thought they were plastic, but they were actually glass. And when I looked at the bottom, I saw that they were from IKEA. I considered grabbing them for a minute because I know IKEA products do sell really well, but again, I didn't want to ship them. They would be very heavy and I would be so nervous about them breaking in transit. Now, I have been looking for a cast iron pan. You can see Savers wanted $59.99 for that one, which I know they're expensive, but for a thrift store, I just thought that was a bit much. Now I know these bowls are vintage. I seem to see those at a lot of thrift stores too. This one's a different pattern. I've seen the grape pattern and the strawberry pattern, and I think that one is leaves. But some of them were missing, so I didn't grab it. Now this peach lusterware is really pretty. I do already have some of these pieces. They are vintage, but that looked like it was missing something, so I ended up not grabbing it. And there's a dish I thought was Pyrex, but it is not. I'm still learning my Pyrex pieces. I think that one was an Anchor Hawking Fire King. And I'm pretty sure it's missing its lid. So here we are at the artwork. Now it's surprising because you can find some really unique and you can find art that is really, really expensive at the thrift store. Now, I really don't like to look in the bigger pieces of art because, number one, I don't have a big car to take it home. But number two, I just don't have any need for it. But if I did, I would definitely come here. And you can find a lot of affordable art to match pretty much any decor. But I always look because I'm always curious. I do like to find like vintage photos and framed, but I didn't see any that day. So here's another one of my favorite sections, the plush and the toy section. My son and I like to go through this section together because he always helps me, identify certain things and whether or not they're popular and what what the kids are really into nowadays. We didn't find any type of plushies, but we did find this bag of Legos. And you can see the tag ripped. Now sometimes Savers and Goodwill, they will price their Legos really high. Like they wanted $10 for that bag. And I have bought tubs of Legos for anywhere from $10 to $15. So now here's an interesting purse. It was new with tags, and I really liked the boho style of this bag. You can see it's got like a, I guess like a mixed media type of thing. It's kind of like a tapestry bag, but not really. But I really liked it, and I really liked the colors. I liked the pattern, and I decided to put that in the cart so I can run some comps and see if it was worthy of buying. Because sometimes when you buy something at the thrift, their prices are high, and it doesn't give you enough room to actually make a profit. But I do always check the handbags. I always look for leather bags, and I always look for bags like that that are brand new with tags. Savers always has a lot of handbags and purses, so I always like to take my time when I go through them because I have found Lots of amazing bags here. They usually keep their high-end bags at the front, but a lot of times you will find some really good quality high-end, full leather bags right here on the racks. I think there was a lady on the other side. That's why I'm really taking my time over here, because I didn't want to go film the other purse rack when people were there. I didn't want to get someone on camera on accident. Oh, yes, and the jewelry section. Now, the jewelry I'm really getting into. I love vintage jewelry, and I also love antique jewelry. And sometimes I will find some amazing pieces at the thrift store. Didn't look like they had a lot to choose from today, so yeah. Now, this was a really cool piece. I think they wanted like 29 or $20 or something, which I thought was a bit much for a thrift store, so I didn't grab it. Or maybe it could have had something wrong with it, I don't know. Now, that little daisy, I really loved that. But you can see it is missing a stone, so But jewelry is always fun. And here I am looking in the glass case. And you can see it's very overwhelming because they have so much. So you really have to make sure you have the time to really look so you can see what all they have. All right, well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this thrift with me. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Please make sure you like and subscribe. This is all I grabbed, only these 3 items. I got that mini butter tray. And yeah, that was it.